You've reached Conversation with Mr. A. This is your host, Anthony Apostilla. Thank you for listening. Let's get right to the episode. Welcome to another edition of Conversations with Mr. A. This is your host, Anthony Abastilla. So for this edition, it is my pleasure to have Mr. Noel Mendoza. He is involved in a lot of activities, community activities. He's an entrepreneur. He's involved with a lot of connections, board members, board directors. For starters, Noel, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for letting me be part of this podcast.
Awesome. So for our viewers, especially those who are younger, some may not know what an entrepreneur is. Can you briefly describe what does an entrepreneur do? Like, what is their role? What is it exactly?
That's a pretty broad question. I think entrepreneurship is mainly someone that's, how can I say this? Like a business owner like myself, as self-made, working harder to their goal and learning from trial and error of learning how to run a business. As an entrepreneur, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Like most people can't be a doctor or most people can't be a lawyer. But same thing in entrepreneurship, not everybody can be able to run their own business and be successful. So a lot of people fail as well, but a true entrepreneur is the person that always never gives up and just learning from their mistakes and tweak it a little bit and, keep getting up, learn and stepping up and hitting your goals and moving forward, and that's part of for me, entrepreneurship is about.
Can you tell our listeners a little bit about just some of the experiences and just some of the things you've done up to this point?
Keep you more details.
Sure. So, I mean, you've been involved in different businesses. Currently, you work as you've been in board members. How did you get to that point? Like, what are some of the things that you've done?
So, I started off. I am a dropout college student. I was going to school to become a nurse is because I'm Filipino American. My family, that's what they wanted me to be, to go to nursing school. It's more of a stable type of a job, right? But ever since my, working that position, not everybody can be able to do that. And when I was going to clinicals and working as a CNA as well, there's a couple people that passed away, and I had a counselor that was an RN when I was in college say, don't take this job personal. As much as you like caring for people, we have to go to counseling as well. I think what took a toll on me is when my grandma passed away maybe 10 years ago, where I just prayed about it and be like, I don't think this is for me, So I went to a different venue and prayed about it and started, I need to change my different path of career, I can't be a nurse. But my grandma was an entrepreneur and she was a businesswoman as well. And started off from the bottom, actually, in Seattle, because over here in Kitsap County, there's not that much jobs here. If you really want to make the big bucks, you got to literally drive to the big city, because mainly here in Kitsap County is more military, work in the shipyard, right, and literally have a degree to get a job. If the shipyard wasn't here, it's probably a ghost town. So there was I applied for a marketing consulting firm over there in Mill Creek and in Bothell. And what I liked about it was mainly there was a management and training program where I started off, and there's people that was there in the firm and the consulting firm, sharp, dressed up. They had nice cars. These guys are making tons of money, and some of them have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and different kinds of clients that they hold, Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies. And I was just like, just shocked. I was like, man, I want to change my career path and, see how would I do. And when I got an interview, I said, why do you want to change? I said, I don't think medical was for me, and just try to start from the beginning. So there was entry level position, but I work harder. I told the boss, I want to be like you. Whatever you're doing here, you must be doing something right. Where all you're doing is doing interviews, and I see you only talk to your management, and after you're done talking to your management, you just do your emails and you're making a lot of money and talking and doing like meetings and Zoom and all that kind of stuff. And it's like I want to be where you were. I want to write checks to employees and say, well, there's a management training program for this. So he basically told me, if you work harder for yourself, you could get there. Don't work harder for me. Work harder for yourself. At the end of the day, and you will get to there. And I started from the bottom. I became a market director to as market director and to market manager and to assistant manager within like 5 or 6 months. And then I landed to one of my top clients in that client firm. One of our top client was actually around the time, this is probably like 6 or 7 years, with DirecTV and AT&T. And this is where the big merger was, that was purchased in 2015, 2016, of an $86 billion merge. And I was very grateful to be part of this campaign, where I was a part of history of a Fortune 7 company that I'm doing business with, and that's how it started my platform and my career, where that was one of my clients that I did business with, and on my portfolio, and working my way up, I got promoted to run my own company, and with our client, with them, and traveled around all across the country, and got promoted to Los Angeles with other clients, not just with AT&T, but with other Fortune 100 companies that we worked with as well. So we were working with Costco was one of our clients, Senegal. We also AT&T. Stanky was a CEO. Best Buy was our client as well, and so forth. There's so much that we were building relationship with these clients to try to make their company get bigger.
I think one of the key words you're saying is about relationships. Yeah. It sounds like, from what you're saying, building relationships, not only with clients, with people, is critical. Am I right on that?
It's a people business, and when I got working my way up in the firm, is I work harder. Everybody was just a clock in and out. And was there for a paycheck. I was there for an opportunity. I was there. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I was born in the Philippines, and my parents worked hard for me to get to where we were at. We live in America, where education, is paid by the taxpayers, and we have access to all these resources in our community. In the Philippines, we don't have those types of things. So I'm forever grateful for my parents to instill this to my head, like, hey, we got you here to America. It's up to you to be where to live an American dream, and just having great mentors in business got to be where I'm very grateful to be where I'm at. I have mentors that, um, shoot, they're making international money around. They're younger than me, like 32 years old, 28 years old. They're making not just U.S. dollars, they're also making yen, pound,
Wow.
pesos, and they're learning how to make passive income. You know, and these are the people that are the one percenters and the seven percenters are people that run the economy, and you don't learn this stuff in you don't learn this stuff in college. You learn this stuff from entrepreneurs and go getters. You know, so
You made a, I know you said a little bit earlier as well that not everyone can be entrepreneurs. And I think a question I was wondering is why is that? And also, what are the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs, or I'll call them rookie entrepreneurs, make?
I think it's no different than like working out, right? Working out is hard work, right? Same thing in the business. It's like it's not physical work like a blue collar type of physical work. It's mentally, like, as entrepreneurs, it's lonely days, hard nights. Your circle is gonna get smaller because it's mental toughness. It's really mental toughness. You're trying to always try to find a way to make your business get better. And if you look at successful entrepreneurs, like my mentors told me, just look at how Jeff Bezos started his business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look at his story. It started off as Amazon, and people never believed him how he was just going to sell books, but it went beyond that. Someone like Howard Schultz, how can everybody didn't believe in him where he could sell $5 coffee? Banks denied him, and looking at all these they went through tough times, these entrepreneurs, and it's hard. Mental toughness. You have to literally sacrifice a lot of your time, even with your family, just to be in the top. So same thing with who's the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks?
What's his name?
From Shark Tank.
Why am I drawing a blank here? I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name.
Let me look it up real quick.
Oh yeah.
Well, he basically said, he wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day is because he wants to be ahead of everybody else, because he mentally scares himself that any day.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
He scares himself every single day that somebody is gonna take over his position.
He's pretty intense. I've seen not only Shark Tank, but does other interviews. He really does believe that. He's I can tell.
I wake up around 2:30 every morning, 3 o'clock. I'm already up awake before everyone else. Because I've learned that in the business industry, why do you think there's a 3 o'clock news? It's for people like entrepreneurs like myself, already ahead of everybody else. People wake up around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. But entrepreneurs that are ahead of the stock industry or in Wall Street, they are already planning their day. They want to know what's going on in the market. They want to know the news, what's going on, so they can plan their day ahead of everybody else.
How do you? Here's a question: how do you protect those ideas? Because I would imagine, as an entrepreneur, I'm pretty sure you have different ideas or new ideas that come out, and there's always the risk that other people may steal it. How do you protect those new ideas, or just just fresh ideas so it doesn't get stolen. So if you came up with like a good idea or something,
Yeah. Oh, like ideas of
Yeah.
of your branding and stuff.
correct.
I would patent it and secure it where no one else could be able to take that ideas from you, and try to find an investor or even try to invest in yourself, and build your business, you know. I think in entrepreneurship, I always try to bet on myself, and in business, it's totally opposite what school teaches in philosophy of business. And how I say this is, in school, copy, cheat, and steal is bad, right? To copy, cheat, and steal, you will never get anywhere in the world. But in business, copy, cheat, and steal is actually a good thing. Is because the people that are mentors that made money already in the business world and can adapt to the same philosophy, they already broke the Da Vinci Code. Why rewrite that? Why reinvent the wheel? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that. So that's why when my mentors tell me, "Hey, do A, B, and C, and you'll get your results X, Y, and Z." Sometimes I'm scared, I'm taking big risks, but why would I listen to my mentors if they've done it already?
Yeah, they're doing. Yeah.
Right? And you always, one of the things that I recommend as being an entrepreneur, always have a mentor. Always network up, not downwards. Always find that person that you can respect in business that's been there, that hit that tier of where they want to be in life or that much money they made, and ask them about how to get there, and they'll teach you. I mean, if you build a great relationship with them, they'll teach you. But there's other places, people charge a lot. Of course, You'll see that like in YouTube, these gurus pay $10,000 and all that kind of stuff.
It's a lot of money. Yeah. One thing you mentioned also, to be an entrepreneur, one of the biggest things is having the mental toughness. I'm sure there's been probably some occasions you might have had some self-doubt or dealt with doubt from others. My question is, how did you deal with it? Like, just occasional whatever, self-doubt or like doubt from others. Like, how did you combat that? Because I know as humans, sometimes we have like self-doubt. People we doubt ourselves, or people doubt us. Like, how did you handle that? Because I'm pretty sure you had some moments of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing?
Yeah. Well, like my mentors, like my regional consultants and national consultants, they're consulting me because we're business partners. But when they tell me to do some things out of my own pocket, right? It's scary because it's an investment. Like invest this much money into your business in recruiting, or invest this much money for your business for this, and this is the result that you'll get. They put a price there to do this for your business, but instead of listening to them, I probably just put half the price for that I put on there, so I got half of the results. But at the end of the day, I should have just listened to them, because if we were business partners, why would they tell me something? Why would they tell me something for me to fail if they're my mentors and they want me to succeed? Because if I succeed, they succeed by default.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
Right? So that's something, I've learned now when I try to teach my community. Now, people ask me about business and stuff. I don't charge them. I like people that are in small businesses, if they ask me questions about like how to do this or do this, I try to help them out in some what way that I can, because I've learned it for free with these mentors or these gurus of mine, and that that make this economy go around. And the least I can do is share it to my community and share it to my people. This knowledge, because I didn't pay for this.
So if you learned something you learned over time.
Yeah, it's just through experience that I've experienced in when I was in that industry. And it's intense.
Now, I know this next question, I kind of feel like you've answered some of it already, some parts of this, but so I used to work at the high school level, and sometimes some of the students, the seniors, when they're graduating from high school, I'd ask them, hey, what are you hoping to do after this all done in high school? And said, I want to be an entrepreneur, which is great, but I guess my question would be, what would you tell those students, specifically senior students that say, hey, you know what? No, when I'm done with high school, I want to be an entrepreneur. What would you tell those students, those younger students?
First off, ask them what motivates you first, and why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Like, what makes you become an entrepreneur that you'll be successful at being an entrepreneur? It's I wouldn't recommend people to becoming entrepreneurs right away. I would literally let them try it. I mean, if they want to become entrepreneurs, I don't blame them. But they really have to really simulate that, like having a telescope, having a great target of where they want to be, and having a passion for it, and to really grasp on what they truly believe in inside their gut. Because people talk a lot what they want to be, but the walk is harder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's harder.
Yes.
You could have $1 million dream, but you only have a minimum wage work ethic. So everybody could talk. Talk is cheap,
Yes, it is.
So it's at the end of the day, like I wasn't an A student, but most entrepreneurs that are millionaires and billionaires, they're self-made. They're like B's and C students. Look at Bill Gates. He didn't even graduate high school.
I think he's done pretty good for himself.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that are entrepreneurs that are just, they truly, really believed in themselves. And you really gotta have that focus of they believe in what they profess, what they can be. Like I said, I recommend people first, before becoming an entrepreneur, if you want to be in this industry, follow these successful people first. Read their biographies, right? And what they went through first, or read business books first. Like one of my favorite ones is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That made me change things of looking life, getting out of the rat race, and the 4 quadrants of making money, of being an employee, self-employed, being a business owner, or now being an investor. The other 2 sides, it's all hard, right? Being an employee, I mean, I could go on. I could talk a whole lecture about the 4 quadrants, but I know we're short amount of time.
Well, towards the end of this interview, I'm going to make this a little bit fun. I'm going to do a thing called word association. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a word or two, and just tell me the first things that come to mind. Just so random words. Now, here's a running joke. Here's the first one. So the running joke with all my podcasts, and for those of you who knew me when I worked at Chimicum, is one thing a running joke is pickles. I really hate pickles. I think they are the grossest, nastiest, disgusting things in the world. But that's just me. So my first question, or my first word would be is, what do you think about pickles? First thing that comes to mind.
Sour.
Okay. Barbie.
Hate it.
Top Gun.
Speed.
Okay. Romantic movies.
Notebook.
Okay. Pizza.
Mods.
Oh, Mott is good. Good. I like that one there. Steak.
Roots Chris.
Okay. Filipino foods.
What's my favorite Filipino food?
Yeah,
Dish?
first thing that comes to mind when you think of Filipino foods.
Kare kare.
Oh, I like everything in there too. Shady businesses.
Stay away from them.
Okay. Honest people.
Respectful.
Okay. Dirty hygiene.
Take a shower.
Control freaks.
Control freaks. Oh man. Go to counseling.
Okay, all right. Horror movies.
Oh, I hate horror movies. First one that popped into my mind. Exorcism.
Oh, there's a new one that came out too.
Oh, really?
Very recently.
Yeah.
Politics.
Politics. Divided.
Okay. Racism.
Uneducated.
Okay. Video games.
No time.
Okay. Sports cars.
Sports cars. Hobbies.
Okay. Let's go for one more just for fun. How about UFC or WWE?
UFC or WWE?
Yeah.
Neither.
Okay.
I say that is because I trained martial arts since I was 6, even until now, and I was trained more of. I'm not into more of the barbaric of like MMA and of watching it in TV of mixed martial arts or because people back in those days, like I studied Karate Do, Okinawan Goju-Ryu, people were fighting for their lives, right? And these fighting for their lives or for their culture, and or like Eastern Orthodox training, and more of traditional. But now it's more like for the money,
Entertainment.
for entertainment, and I mean it's if I watch a big fight, if I'm not paying for it, I wouldn't mind watching it, but like I wouldn't pay for it.
I have to admit, I'm a sucker for the entertainment. I'm
Yeah,
a sucker.
I wouldn't mind paying for watching the Pacquiao and Mayweather if they're really gonna fight.
Just for fun. Okay, maybe I'll throw a few more people. Manny Pacquiao. Your thoughts on Manny Pacquiao?
Manny Pacquiao, people's champ.
Okay. Street fighting.
Street fighting, no comment.
Okay. Social media.
Social media, oh, that was a good one. What was the last thing about social media? It's like new ways. It's actually the new version of attractive business. Social media for different platforms is people of now. What are those kids that are
TikTok. Snapchat. Instagram.
Yeah, no, but they're influencers. That's what
Influencers, yes. Social media influencers.
yeah, they're making good money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logan Paul. There's a few others.
Yeah.
So, any last things that you would like to tell our listeners? Just final words you want to tell our listeners for this episode?
I appreciate you for interviewing me, but for actually like about the topic about entrepreneurship and business. Always have the eye on the prize, and if you're really about what you really believe in as your business or whatever you want to venture off in entrepreneurship, like you really got to have it in the passion of your heart, and keep going through it, because if you don't, it's a tough industry to be in, because it's a animal kingdom where how can I say this? If you're not working for your dreams, so you're actually building this for someone else. That's basically it in an entrepreneurship. So I would rather choose my time for myself as an entrepreneur, building my own dreams, than working for someone else, because I'm a terrible employee. And as me as an entrepreneur, and I take pride in this because I work my butt off to be where I'm at, and now spending time with my family and enjoying my son, my beautiful wife, where life is pay me now or pay me later.
Fair.
And also I've learned that, I can always make money, but I can never take back time.
That's true.
So always appreciate what you have now. Time is very valuable. So, and my worst thing for me as an entrepreneur, I tell my employees, is my worst day working for myself is better than working for someone else.
Yeah. Good.
And I take pride in that. So, and that's why I always, as me as an entrepreneur, I'm always going to bet on myself, because it's my work ethic. I have to be. You have to have a great work ethic to be an entrepreneur. And mental toughness. So, but that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you so much for your time, Noel. Appreciate it.
You take care. God bless. Bye.
And that concludes this edition of Conversations with Mr. A, featuring being an entrepreneur with Noel Mendoza. A lot of good insight Noel was sharing, especially about being an entrepreneur and just about life in general, but just hard work and sticking with it. And so thank you, Noel, for not only your time, but just sharing your words of wisdom. And thank you for listening to this listeners, thank you for listening to this episode. We will have more episodes to come. Thank you for listening.